Ethereum is ripping, and if you're just holding or aping in, you're leaving yourself fully exposed to the risks of the market. I'll show you exactly how I'm riding ETH momentum and locking in profit using two automated strategies. One only takes the long side when the momentum is strong to the upside, and the other takes the long and the short side when momentum is strong to either side. If you want to get exposure to Ethereum without getting wrecked, this video is for you. Let's dive in. All right, let's first talk about some things that are happening in the Ethereum world that, in my opinion, are going to lead to it just absolutely going parabolic here in the short term. Here's a post by Ted Pillows, who's talking about the Genius Act potentially passing this week. We've talked a lot about the Genius Act on my channel here. Polymarket gives a 95% chance of passing this year. Now, it's this year, okay? Personally, I think it's going to be closer to like September that this will pass. And we may get some passage of the Clarity Act and also an anti-CBDC surveillance act, which would be fantastic because, you know, we don't want like 1984 in 2025. But this is really, really big stuff. If they pass it this week, it's just going to be super bullish, and I think Ethereum is going to run. But as even these different bills start to incrementally pass, so one may pass the Senate, one may pass the House, they may be, you know, doing some tweaks as they're passing, as there's dialogue. I do think that we're going to see Ethereum and Ethereum plays that are on the blockchain continue to escalate in terms of pricing. And here you can see, you know, the Clarity Act signed into 2025. The chances are actually less, 63% chance, but it has gone up substantially. Like, there was a lot of people talking like at the end of June saying that it was not going to pass this year, but this thing has like moon. And you can see here, like, I remember reading an article that they're just like, there's no way Clarity's passing this year. But now we're starting to see this really move up. And Polymarket is actually in my opinion, kind of an indicator as to like what the sentiment is. And people, you know, put their money where their mouth is on this sort of stuff. And then as you can see here, the Stablecoin Act or the Genius Act, 96% chance that it's going to pass. This is a this is like pretty much a sure bet that this is going to pass this year. So I am looking at this. And some of the different cryptos that I am investing in, one of them is Frax. If you want to get exposure to some more like stablecoin stuff, you may want to just go and buy the tokenized stock on the Solana blockchain of Circle. Circle is a great play for this stablecoin. I think it's going to be one of the biggest beneficiary of the Stablecoin Act. It's the first leader that's like really, really in tune with the regulations and the laws that they're trying to pass. While it's a very profitable entity as a whole, unless you're on the insider club of USDT, you're really not going to benefit from anything USDT. It's not like you buy USDT and you hold it. That's just dumb. Another thing here is BlackRock just bought $151.4 million worth of ETH. And we're just continue to see things like this every single day. 100 million worth of ETH, 50 million worth of ETH, 200 million worth of ETH being bought up, especially over the last like 30 to 45 days. People have just been aping in. And, you know, coincidentally, Ethereum has really scaled up since the last update that they did back in May. And this is an indicator that ETH is really the one that I'm eyeing during this market. Like, I know ETH is number 2, and, you know, it doesn't have quite that explosive momentum as like a meme coin or a brand new coin that's super hot. But why do you want to expose yourself to that much risk? You might get lucky, you might do well, but at the same time, like, you don't necessarily have to expose yourself to that level of risk. Let's take a look at some of the things that I have improved on so that I don't have to sit through all the crazy drawdown, or when the market goes down, I'm not sitting there going, please, please, Ethereum, go up, or please, please, Bitcoin, go up. Those days for me are completely over. So there's a couple of things I want us to take a look at. So we see here, this is January 1st, okay? And on January 1st, Ethereum was sitting at about $3,361 per ETH. Now, if we measure from January 1st to today, we're down about 11.77%. Okay, so if you would have bought Ethereum in January, you're down currently. Okay, and if you take a look at this line that I drew here, if you would have bought here, okay, just here, not at the top, which was like right here, a lot of people, you know, when prices go up, a lot of people are buying, but you can see here just from January 1st, our max drawdown is 58.69%. And if you would have bought at the top, right here, you'd be down 62.54%, okay? But this is what I don't ever want to have to go through in my entire life again. These huge, massive drawdowns. Guys, gals, 58% down. Like, if you were in traditional finance, this would be absolutely unacceptable in terms of drawdown for you, because this is like where you get out and you like never get back in. I mean, I've read plenty of books on traditional finance, and if you're buying and holding something and it's fluctuating like this is like where you're just going, no way. Now, Ethereum is going to be ripping up, and I do think we're going to see Ethereum in the 10,000 range before the end of this year. But if you take a look at where we're at right now, yeah, we've made a nice 55% run, okay, from here to here. But you would have had to have the foresight to buy exactly down here and then let it run all the way up to here to have your 55% return, okay? And that's just not realistic, all right? And there's just no oracle out there. Maybe there's some insiders that have like access to Trump when he's tweeting or when they're going to come out with a new law or whatever. But outside of that, you ain't part of that club. Okay, so let's take a look at some strategies that we launched in April of this year. Okay, March and April of this year. This one is what we call our Gemini ETH vault. So it only trades ETH. Okay, and it trades the up and the downside of ETH. And this one is doing relatively well. But let's take a look at where we started. So this is January 3rd. It wasn't in a trade in January 1st. And you can see it's marked by these green lines right here. Anytime there's green, it means it gets into a trade. And anytime it's red, and that's to the long side, meaning it's betting that Ethereum is going to keep going up. Now, the red ones right here, as you can see, this means that it's betting that Ethereum is going down, all right? And we had some really, really good, and anytime Ethereum does go down, we make money, okay? And we've had some really, really good profits. So while we see this red here, this actually means green for us. This actually means that we are making money during this time. Now, you see this really, really nice uptick that we had back here in late April and May, where Ethereum did go up, and it's going up a little bit slower, which is what we want, guys and gals. We don't want just this crazy parabolic move up and you end up just getting chopped out like we have been in the past, okay? We want sustained momentum to the upside, and we're starting to see a new move start to form here, okay? Now, whether or not we get stopped out, we'll still be in massive profit, okay, just from this move here. And you can see here that the max drawdown is 22.9%. Okay, and now we're headed back, and this blue line is what we call a high watermark. So it's like the highest level that this trade hit in terms of USD value, okay, compared to just buying and holding Ethereum. This shows like what the performance of the strategy is doing, and anytime it hits this blue line, it means that the strategy is now outdoing itself. It's now in profit, and it's continuing to make new highs. Now, let's take a look at this. So this right here shows where we're at in terms of from December 1st to today, okay? And you can see that the other chart that I showed you before, we were down basically 12% this year if you would have bought and held Ethereum to right now. But this strategy is up 55.17% this year alone. And you can see it's taken a total of 17 trades, and not all of them were profitable, guys and gals. You can see here that only 23.53% of them were profitable. But the ones that were profitable were really, really good, all right? And the ones that weren't profitable, we were able to get out of them fast enough so that you don't end up wrecked, Okay, so we launched these strategies on the blockchain. This one launched in March, as you can see here. Now, it was in the middle of a trade in March, so our bot did not pick it up. But once that trade closed, we were then able to start re-entering and hit on the strategy. Now, we have tested the strategy ourselves off the blockchain, but this is measured and confirmed on the blockchain. There's no lying on the blockchain. That's the coolest thing about this. So any of these returns that we're making, we cannot manipulate. This is all registered returns or losses on the blockchain. And you can see here, April was a great month. We had a 13.12% month. May was a great month. We had a 30.11% month. June, not so much, negative 16.28. And July, as you can see here, we're up so far 11.17%. But since we started at a share price of $1 and we're now up to $1.38. So essentially we're up 38% on our strategy. Now, ETH, since the beginning of this year, is down almost 12%. We've made some really, really nice moves and we've locked in the profit. That's the coolest part about it. A lot of people don't realize that when you lock in profit, that's where the sweet spot is. And this is fully automated, okay? You don't need to do anything. And this is why we've created it, so that we could truly create passive income for people. Now, this is our Gemini. It's been averaging 7.75% per month. Now, that's not 7.75. No, it's, up 30%, down 17% or 16%, up 11%. This strategy is not guaranteed. Anytime you have a guaranteed strategy, you're about to have your money stolen from you, all right? But you want to have strategies that are tried, tested, which this strategy has been around since 2021, and it's done very, very well. Now, we've just brought it to the blockchain so that you all could actually profit from this without having the stress, without having to buy and hodl Bitcoin or ETH, and we have some Bitcoin ones as well. And by the way, if you're interested in learning about how you can get involved with this type of investment, how you can manage your risk, and how you can safely invest into what's called decentralized finance, because this is DeFi. You actually hold custody of these cryptos. And what ends up happening is we just manage the crypto inside of what's called a smart contract. And this smart contract is one of the oldest, safest smart contracts out there. It was developed by some former Goldman Sachs executives. These guys have really taken regulation and safety of consumers' money into play on this. And this is what we've really been focused on over the last 2 years, is building this so that normal, everyday people don't have to stomach the ups and downs of crypto, don't have to go to the meme coin lottery to just sit there and gamble. They can actually manage their risk and really take advantage of the moves that the crypto market makes without the headache, without waking up at night going, gosh, what's going to happen? So if you're interested, there's a link down below how you can start learning on how you can participate in things like this and in DeFi. This isn't the only thing that we talk about. We talk about security. We talk about other cryptos that you may want to participate in. None of it's financial advice, just what we're doing. And it's what I have personally built so that my life could be easier, so that I can continue to teach crypto, but have automated strategies make money for me. Okay, let's get into our other strategy. This is Leo ETH. So this one does not short Ethereum. It actually only longs Ethereum. And I actually think that this one is going to start to outperform this one. That's why I saved this one for last. Even though it's only up 24%. Now, here's the thing. This one started a whole month afterwards. I think it started in the middle of April. So there was a few trades that we did not take in this one. Also in March. And remember, this one's short. So in March, that short that we got was tremendous. It was worth a lot of return. But this one takes less risk during bull markets because it only plays the upside. So when you do the long and short side, you're prone to more drawdown over time, you'll probably make more money. But during a bull market, and we've evaluated this, this strategy will actually do a lot better. And then what you would want to do is like convert some of that into like the bull bear market strategy, which is the Gemini. We call it Gemini because it's both up and down. We take both sides, all right, like a Gemini would. But this one you can see it's out at 6.43% monthly return, but I think this one is about to take off. So guys, gals, if you're interested in managing your risk and not getting into crypto without a plan, again, take a look at that link down below. There's some information as to how we do things down there, and I think you'll really like it. You'll really like our course that we've established over the last 5 years as to how people can participate in decentralized finance without getting completely wrecked and without a plan so that you can be successful in your own portfolio. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.